Hello there. Behind me is what's left of the West Santa Ana branch. You may know that between 1905 and 1958, the Pacific Electric Red Car shuttled passengers to and from downtown LA on these very tracks. And up until 1941, it was double-tracked. What you may not know was from the late 1950s until 2003, the Southern Pacific used these very tracks to move tanker cars from Paramount to Stanton. Behind me is Pioneer Station, the proposed terminus for the upcoming Southeast Gateway line, set to open in 2033. On July 14, 1990, the Metro Blue Line opened, bringing rail back to Los Angeles, which hadn't seen it in nearly 4 decades. The party was just getting started as Metro successfully reutilized old freight and passenger corridors to expand service. The Metro Blue Line successfully reused old Pacific Electric right-of-way, which the Southeast Gateway hopes to do soon. Since 1990, Metro has been expanding rapidly throughout Los Angeles County, utilizing former Pacific Electric, freight, and tunneling underground for subway projects to restore service to its residents. In 1992, Metro bought up right-of-ways from the Southern Pacific Railroad. The idea was to utilize these old freight corridors to expand service to its residents. Today we'll be focusing on the West Santa Ana branch, particularly between the cities of Cerritos and southern Los Angeles. This map shows the extensive network of the Pacific Electric Red Cars. The history of the West Santa Ana branch didn't end with the streetcars. In fact, it entered its quietest chapter. For decades, the Southern Pacific used the West Santa Ana branch sparingly, sometimes only once or twice a weekday. It was so quiet that many people believed it was already abandoned. It wasn't. During the Southern Pacific era, the West Santa Ana branch was utilized to serve various agricultural industries such as dairy farms and feed stores. However, by the late 1980s, its only customer was Paramount Petroleum Products, a small refinery in Paramount. The Southern Pacific used this branch to get tanker cars from Paramount to their yard in Anaheim via the Stanton branch for use throughout Orange County. The West Santa Ana branch connected to the Stanton branch, Huntington Beach branch, and Los Alamitos branch via the Los Alamitos Junction. The route began by crossing Somerset Boulevard and Lakewood Boulevard towards Bellflower. Here's a shot during its final month in service, showing 2 UP engines and a load of tanker cars crossing Clark Avenue in Bellflower. Here you see the set crossing under the 605 freeway near the San Gabriel River. As we exit Bellflower, we cross the San Gabriel River on this old bridge. The tracks on the bridge ironically lead into a storage lot for the Cerritos Auto Square. Looking left, you can see a bridle trail for horses, which deviates from the bike path and crosses the tracks. Upon closer inspection of these tracks, you can see a makeshift grade crossing for horseback riders. Finding this bridge felt surreal. That Southern Pacific insignia on the side turns us into a time capsule of what once was here. Reminiscent of an era that's gone by the wayside. Exiting the storage lot, I stumbled upon this, one of the last remaining grade crossings that hasn't been paved over on this abandoned line. Leaving the Cerritos Auto Square, we cut behind the Cerritos Mall, approaching the intersection of 183rd Street and Gridley, a potential infill station on this line. Here's what Jersey and 186th Street looks like today. Let's take a look at some old photos to see how this crossing looked back in its day. Behind these tanker cars sits Pioneer Station, the future terminus for this line. At the time of editing this video, Metro plans to open the Southeast Gateway line in 2035 with its southern terminus in Artesia at Pioneer Boulevard. Just south of Pioneer Boulevard lies Norwalk Boulevard and Bloomfield and Del Amo, right by the Orange County border, which could be potential expansion sites in the future. At the corner of Del Amo and Bloomfield lie tracks that led this train into Orange County. Here's an aerial photo of what Del Amo looked like back when this line was active. And that takes us to here, the Orange County-LA County border, also known as the Orange Curtain. Here is what's left of a grade crossing for bicycles, which still hasn't been paved over yet. And here looking north, back towards Los Angeles County, towards Pioneer Station. Although I was unsuccessful in getting any footage of the West Santa Ana branch, just a couple miles of north lies the Patata branch, a small line that serves Orange County, Cerritos, Norwalk, Santa Fe Springs, and a few communities in southeast Los Angeles County. This is single-tracked and has very outdated crossing equipment reminiscent of the SP era. YouTuber by the name of John Usle had some maps on the Los Alamitos branch that proved helpful for my last video. This time, he shows us maps from the West Santa Ana branch during its final days. As you can see, lots of agricultural customers along the line. However, during its final days, its only customer was Paramount Petroleum. On September 11th, 1996, the Union Pacific and Southern Pacific Railroads merged into one. Thanks to the Lakewood Industrial Lead, a Union Pacific-owned right-of-way, the Southern Pacific was able to use that for its refinery operations. Construction began in the late 90s, and by 2003, it was completed. This small section of track, which is served by the Lakewood Industrial Lead, is still a part of the West Santa Ana Branch right-of-way. It goes directly into the refinery. However, through the Union Pacific's network towards Long Beach, not towards Orange County on the old West Santa Ana Branch. Unfortunately, this refinery has not seen a tanker car in the last 8 months or so. That could change in the near future, but it's unlikely. As for the original route from Paramount to Stanton, its last run was on March 27, 2003. Not much left in the Orange County section of the West Santa Ana Branch. What was interesting, though, was the small bridge over a small creek leading into Coyote Creek. Behind me is a potential infill station for the Southeast Gateway line. This one is tucked conveniently behind the Cerritos Mall. And if everything goes according to plan, the city of Cerritos could get 2 stations on the Southeast Gateway line. One here by Gridley and 186th Street behind the Cerritos Mall, and another on Bloomfield and Del Amo right at the Orange County, LA County border. And if those work out, the city of Cypress could potentially get a station at Cypress College. Only time will tell. I hope you enjoyed this video and stay tuned for my next one.